Welcome back, our viewers. Continuing our episode, but this time with another special guest having us with us. A truly remarkable guest who with us today is someone whose artistry knows no bound. She's an international doll maker, renowned for her unique creations that not only capture the essence of individuals, but also contribute to environmental sustainability.
Of course, joining with us in the studio, the incredibly talented Anoud Alkhalafan and Around of Kuwait, where Anoud has dedicated herself to grafting dolls, which we're going to know more about her today. Welcome to Around of Kuwait, Anoud.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. So, Anoud, for today, we actually have really curious questions about the field that you are in, and we would love, as first, what, let's say, inspired you for this passion to create this environmental friendly dolls?
Honestly, since my doll's been purchased by all different ages, especially the kids, and it got me into having the idea of using a material that would least harm the environment and also not causing any harm to the kids themselves, and to keep them for long lasting.
Okay, speaking on, you mentioned the children, Anoud. How did you start, let's say, the doll makers? What made you actually lead into this kind of field?
Honestly, before I wanted to have a doll that didn't exist in the market, so I created my own, and that's how it begins.
Yeah.
Is there maybe any types of help in the beginning? Because starting it, maybe it depends on the age, it depends on the time also, and the material. Sometimes it will be a little bit difficult. So are there maybe any types of help from a relative or person in the family when you started?
Honestly, you meant I have like some kind of make for someone?
For the first doll that you want to create that wasn't actually be available in stock on the market. So what age exactly you were?
I started when I were like 9 years old almost.
Of course.
Yeah, and you know, at that age I have like a certain characters, celebrities in Hollywood that I would love to have them as a doll, so that's how it started.
Is there maybe anyone helped you creating the dolls, especially at 9?
Honestly, it started like watching, and you know, I'm like a doll collector myself. Since like all of us kids, we love to collect dolls, like Barbie dolls and stuffed dolls, and I just looking around on the dolls existing, and I tried to copy them, and I have nobody to got taught by, so
that's actually really great to have the talent.
Of course, yeah. And speaking on the dolls maker, I'm sure you have took learning skills in order to reach into what you have done right now. So speaking on that, let's talk more about your insights. How did you reach to making these kind of dolls?
Honestly, it's a combination of art classes and sewing, since I'm using different type of fabrics. And the art classes considered the portrait classes, painting, drawings, and you name it. That's how I go for.
This is actually really amazing. But we actually mentioned something, which is environmental friendly fabric, or environmentally friendly, the materials, all of it that you are using. I would love to know why, at first, why did you adopt the environment aspect on your field?
Honestly, because there's some materials has some kind of toxic, especially in certain colors and markers. And to me, it's like under the name Forever Dolls, it's like to keep the dolls for long lasting time, and by not harming the environment for the longer time. That's the idea came up, and I have to use certain materials, a certain fabric, just to keep it for long lasting.
Well, that's great that you are actually an environmental person.
I have to.
We actually need that.
Saving the environment.
Yeah.
Yes,
save the environment and save the whole thing around.
True, yes, of course. When we're talking about the dolls, how do you choose the characters?
I choose the characters according to the people. I got inspiration. I also follow famous artists. And that's how
do you customize like a certain kind of doll if someone requested that they want a special kind of doll?
Yeah,
of course, I do customization for dolls. Yeah.
You do that?
Yeah, I
do. Well,
do.
that's really great, because I wanted to ask that, and I was waiting but that's great that you asked that. So how did you evolve your skills with time, and how did you do it?
Actually, I got an eye of evolving skills like sculpting, painting, drawings, and in this kind of field I have to just to follow the updates, updating fabric colors with the best materials to like eco-friendly to be used, and that's how it goes.
What about the workshops? Did you follow, like, did you join some workshop? Or do you have workshop to teach maybe other people?
I do actually for certain people, and also I took a workshop with I've been a proud member with the Professional Doll Making Art Guild because I got into a certain contest to win a certain level of classes. So from there I got certified as international doll making. And then I'm starting to use the certain material. I came up with one-of-a-kind doll at that time.
That's interesting.
As international doll maker, so
yeah,
that's how it
that's
started.
interesting. As you have mentioned, international doll maker, what makes Anoud so special than any other person by choosing her any kind of doll maker? And I'm sure you have like a certain, let's say, touches of your own dolls.
Honestly, I had my own technique by using a mixed media, like cotton, different fabrics that support eco-friendly, certain fabric colors, just to come up with this kind of doll, and by not making them creepy.
Yeah.
So I try my best just to balance between the art of doll as make them playful at the same time, you know, the art as you express freedomly the vision. It's not the same as making dolls and make them playful. So for my job is to balance between the two worlds.
Interesting.
So you're an international doll maker, certified, of course. And I wanted to ask you about, do you make like different dolls from different cultures?
I do.
You do that, like Mexican doll, maybe French doll, like you do that. So
for all cultures.
okay, so my question is, how do you adapt to different cultures? I mean, how do you do it? Because sometimes it's be different and you have to be from the same culture. Do you learn from that culture? Like, exactly, do you search about that? Or it becomes like from your own inspiring?
Honestly, I got inspiration like by traveling, attending museums, and by following famous artists. And starting from there, I do my own sketches whenever I be in the coffee shops, walking, people passing by. So I do have my own sketchbook and do my own designing as for the dolls.
And after that, you create it?
I create them, yeah.
Good.
So she's creating and she's learning and she's educating.
Yeah, and she
That's
also
really
she also know how to draw. That's
that's important.
No, that's
Yeah.
important.
Yeah.
Speaking on making the dolls and choosing the kinds of fabrics, if you could tell us more about how do you choose your fabrics in order, I'm sure when you're making any kind of doll, you're attracting or wanting people to like this kind of doll or it's customized and so on. How do you choose your fabric and to make sure that people would choose your dolls, let's say?
Okay, as I said, I always go for environmental, eco-friendly environment thing. So what I go for is 100% natural cotton. It's always a preference.
Okay, so the next question is, we all know that environmental mediums and the items sometimes be a little bit difficult to have. So can you tell us also about what challenges that you face as a doll maker?
Finding supports, investors, and you know, I've been seeing in hand art crafting here in Kuwait is not that much of a support. And honestly, from my side, what I do is I got my techniques from an old Kuwaiti way of making dolls, which is that what I'm doing. I took the heritage, I make the heritage alive, so through me. So yeah.
That's interesting.
Is it difficult also to find to order the mediums to create it? Maybe the cotton or like some of the fabrics?
Honestly, from time to time, but because of I have like evolving into finding a new materials in the long run, and that's how I always find a substitute for the existing material if I couldn't find it.
That's really great.
Wow, that's nice. When we're talking about any talented person or throughout his career, so I'm sure you have memorable stories or things that you would never forget. If you could share with us some of your memorable stories or any kind of experience, especially when you're a doll maker you made for people.
Recently, I went to a Picasso museum. I took with me a Picasso doll, and I saw different reactions from the security to characters from there. And that moment, I got a very. They even asked me if I got the doll from the gift shop of the museum, and the faces were priceless. The reactions.
They were actually surprised about that,
They
right?
were
Yeah.
surprised that I made the doll. They thought I got it from the shop of the museum. So from there, I'm like, it was memorable to me.
Wow.
The
That's
excitement,
nice.
and they just want to have the doll, and yeah.
It's got
That's
to be
amazing.
actually. That's got to be
Yeah.
actually amazing. Of course, Anoud, we have more questions, and we're going to continue this interview, but we have to short break. So for your viewers, stay tuned, and we will be right back. Welcome back, our viewers, as we continue our interview with our dear guest, Anoud Alkhalafan, environmental international doll maker, and of course, certified. Anoud, can you tell us more about how do you stay up to the last updates on the field of doll making?
It's my field and my passion. So I have an eye of evolving in the doll world.
Wow, that's interesting. And I'm sure every artist has his own favorites while working in his own business or whatever career he's working or he likes. When we're talking about doll making, I think you have special fabrics that you would love to work with. What is your favorite fabrics while you're working or doll making, let's say?
My favorite fabric, I consider the canvas fabric, which is made of 100% of natural cotton. It's the best way of using it and drawing on it. So, yeah, it's been a preference to me.
Wow.
So, there is something that you mentioned before the interview, and I would love to bring it back during the interview. It's actually, you mentioned something that you are using, and you are really taking care of it, that the type of paintings on the doors is you try to, let's say, have the best quality that it won't harm the kids' skin and it won't harm even the adults. So can you tell us why exactly do you do that, and what is it exactly the
Honestly,
liquid that you're using?
I'm using everything, like pencils, markers, any colors. Like I would use fabric colors overall. So this kind of colors, it should be like, it has like as an eco-friendly sported, so that wouldn't have some certain toxic for the long-lasting time when they keep the doll in the room, or the kids, like, they're playful and have putting the doll sometimes in their mouth. So
Yeah, of course they do.
yeah, so I make sure that the material or the colors I'm using is not toxic or any having to
Well,
harm
thank
them.
you about that, actually.
Yeah.
As
She's
a
taking
person
care.
who's selling something, actually, sometimes for a lot of people who sells the products, they don't care about either if it's safe or no, like it's all of it safe, but sometimes with extra action from the kids or adults, it's be harmful or in the long run, and it's not totally the person's job. But if they are really caring about that, well, that's actually extra goodness and being sweet.
This is
Definitely.
what we
Thank you.
call being loyal.
Oh yeah.
To the
Definitely.
True.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
And since we're talking about the people and let's say the audience or whoever is leading into buying Anoud's dolls, let's talk more about, I'm sure you're having a big impact for the people, whether it was emotionally or environmentally. What do you see or what do you wish that people would have the impact on your dolls?
Well, let's say emotionally, by like the continuous appreciation by the people for the hand making crafts, and environmentally for searching for more materials that would least harm the environment.
Interesting.
Well, also, can you tell us how has international background influenced your choices and your doll creations? Like, and also, did you maybe try to adapt like different cultures, like infusion of different cultures to create it in one character of your dolls?
Honestly, yeah, by like I've said, traveling, attending museums, and this kind of I adapt the culture, and it helped me a lot. And massively, it gave me a wider view and to look for more materials and inspirations.
So, one more question also from me.
Sure.
Can you tell us what's your favorite, let's say, culture that you love to adapt maybe in your dolls? Because a lot of people, they like to create more, let's say, Latinos, more, let's say, Northern Americans, or more Europeans, or Asian, Middle Eastern. So what's your favorite?
Honestly, I always go for the rich culture, and I find the African dolls, the color of their skin, the culture. They have like even the Indians. Those are my favorites. The Indians and the African dolls. Like
Yeah,
they have like
so
a
great.
yeah, they have like a different way of style, different colors. You can be playful with the colors. So to me, it's like this is rich
Wow, that's
for
interesting.
creating more, and
Yeah.
you know, it's for the vision.
True. And since you have mentioned about creating, what does Anoud in the future planning to create or to change in her doll making?
What I'm gonna change, or let's say as a vision,
Yeah.
I'm seeing myself as collaborating with different kind of brands and having my own as a dolls brand,
Yeah.
and giving classes and more to learn about the handcrafting of
We wish you
mine.
all the best, of course.
Thank you.
Of course, and as one more question also, can you tell us like, or can you give us some advice to inspiring individuals who would love or and also interested in creating dolls that's also in more sustainable and timeless creations?
Of course, it's like keep going whatever you're doing, and most likely you have to invest in your time by evolve your skills and never stop. So
Never stop, yeah.
yeah,
And
never
try
stop
to
what
make
you
it safe.
and try to make it safe.
Yeah.
For sure.
Especially for kids.
Of course.
Yeah.
Kids and adults.
And being loyal.
And being loyal. Thank
exactly.
you,
And
Sarah.
we always say that, Abdulatif, any person who's really talented, who loves his work, who loves doing his achievements and so on, would be so loyal and honest with the people, of course. We are really happy, and it's an honor to have you with us today. And I hope everyone enjoyed with us today, of course.
Thank you.
Thank you one more time for being here with us. We're actually really honored to know more about your story also. So, and thank our viewers for watching. And remember, with every new day, there are going to be either some new topics that we're going to discuss about, where events, you will see your cameras at it, of course, or we have some inspiring stories from inspiring individuals. And of course, we would see you for the next time, and goodbye for now.